So this is kind of a confusing market. I really want to break down two big things, two big points of distinction for you as I share with you the market data. I want to share with you, first of all, the position of what we call kind of a lagging indicator. Like that's the rear view mirror of what's already happened in our marketplace. That's going to show up in things like the average sales price. Okay, that's what happened basically 30, 45, 60 days ago. It's also going to show up in the form of days on market in some way as well. Days on market, as I'm going to share with you today, is going to be on closed and booked sales only. It's not going to be days on market for what's active and sitting on the market. Okay, so that's kind of the lagging rearview mirror of what's happened. Leading indicators that I'm looking at to give me clarity on what's happening right here, right now, not on what happened 45 or 60 days ago, is things like the homes for sale. How many homes have come on the market? What is the months of inventory supply? And then also, of course, watching the list price to sell price ratio, but that still too is a little bit of a lagging indicator. So we really want to break this down and separate what's happened and what is happening. Okay, so with that in mind, let's jump right into it. The first thing I want to talk about is the average sales price. It starts with a 9 this month, which is a big change. It was in the 8s for years, a couple of years now too, and it's jumped to $915,000. That is an 8% increase year over year. That's really, really big news, but I do not think that's going to last. I think that's just the peak spring season we're seeing right now. I think you're going to see that number probably go down to 3 or 4% appreciation, which still historically speaking is quite good. I just don't think we're going to see 8% with seeing how many new homes are coming on the market. The second big data point I want to talk about is the months of inventory supply. This is kind of the crystal ball into where home prices are going. You know that when the inventory goes down, prices go up. And when we know when inventory goes up, prices start to soften a little bit. And so this number, it's at 1.4 months right now, which is about a 40% increase from the same time last year. It's a huge jump from last month. So in April, we had 0.9 months of inventory supply. And in just 4 weeks, we shot up half a month to 1.4 months. So there's a really rapid increase in inventory. That's why I think prices are probably going to soften a little bit, and that 8% appreciation that we just saw may not last the rest of the year. The third data set I want to look at is new listings. And this is a shocking number I'm going to share with you. The new listings are up 41% from the same time last year. That's why you see inventory, the months of inventory supply rising so quickly. The reason that the new listings are up so much is because in 2022 and 2023, a lot of sellers did not list their home. And the reason they did not list their home is because if they went to go buy another house, there were unfavorable interest rates. There were rates that were in the mid 8s at one point, and that caused sellers who had typically rates that were in the 2 or 3% range to not really want to give up that rate and go endure that much, much higher rate. But as rates have come down, they're sitting in the high 6s right now, it's made it a little bit more attractive for sellers. And some sellers have to move as well. People get relocated, they retire, they downsize, they upsize, they have to move. And those people that have to move, eventually they were going to list their home, and that's what they're doing right now. That's why the new listings are up so much. But that is a massive, massive increase year over year, 41%. The next data point I want to talk about is homes for sale. So the number of homes sitting on the market right now is up about 30% from the same time last year. But maybe more importantly, it's up 60% from the same time last month. So the inventory level shot up from about 572 homes to 920 homes in just 4 weeks. That is a massive surge of new inventory that's hitting the market that has not been absorbed yet. Days on market. How long is it taking to sell a home on average from when you list it to when you accept an offer? It's sitting at 13 days right now, but I want to give you a word of caution on this statistic. This is only telling you the story on closed sales. It's not telling you the story of homes that are just sitting there. There's no timer on homes that are active on the markets until they accept an offer, go under contract, and then ultimately close. Okay, so while this number is down 40% from the same time last year, this number I think is very artificial. When you look at a lot of pricing in submarkets, the number is actually more like in the 30s and the 40s, but it really depends on which city you're in, which submarket you're in, even with the price range that you're in to know exactly what the days on market is. But in a lot of areas, I'm seeing the active days on market creep up very, very quickly. For most of our sellers right now that have their home listed with us, we're giving them a weekly report on their submarket on exactly how many homes are sitting there and what the days on market average is. You don't want to rush to a price decrease just because the home's been sitting for 14 or 20 days when the days on market are actually going up to 30 or 40, if that makes sense. The last data point I want to share with you is the list price to sale price ratio. It's about 102% right now, but again, that is telling you the story on what's already happened. It's not telling you on what's happening right here, right now. I expect this number to go down to more like the 97, 98% range as all of this inventory that's come on the market starts to get absorbed. What we know is that when there's lots of options for buyers, buyers tend to slow down their decision making. They might go look at a home multiple times before they make a decision. They might look at a home and then sit on the decision for a couple of weeks before they pull the trigger. I'm seeing a lot of buyers be very cautious before they actually pull the trigger and put an offer in. And that's a fantastic thing. Buying a home is a really big financial decision. You want to make sure it's the right house for you. That market of the last couple of years in 2020, 2021, where people have to make, on the spot decisions where they're going to spend $1 million. It's not the best thing for a buyer. It's really good for a buyer to be able to have a few days, maybe even a week, go back to the home a second time, make sure it's really the right fit for them. As a seller, that's going to frustrate you, right? Your home's going to feel like it's just sitting there for a while. There's buyers touring it, but there's nothing happening on it. There's no offers coming in. You just have to get reacclimated to this new market that's happening right here. The market is super dynamic right now, very fluid. It's changing week to week. You can't even look at month to month. We're looking at literally 1 week to the next because it's changing that fast. If you're a buyer right now, this is a really, really great opportunity for you. We saw rates come down to about 6.9% range over the last couple of weeks. They had kind of bumped back up into the 7.2% range. I'm going to throw up a graph on the screen kind of showing you the last year of mortgage rates. You'll see that big blip up into the high sevens back in October of 2023. And you'll see that they had dropped down to about 6.6% earlier this year. And they're sitting about 6.9% right now, which historically speaking, not bad at all. So if you've been waiting, if you've been on the sidelines saying, hey, I want to wait until I don't have to overpay for a home, this could very well be the market that you've been waiting for. You might be able to get some closing costs thrown in, maybe get a little bit of a discount on the house just because there's more homes that have come on. The amount of homes that are sitting there is much, much higher than it was last year and definitely much higher than it was even last month. Sellers, I want to caution you on how you price your home as you bring it to the market. If you're thinking about selling your home in the summer, just make sure you price it conservatively. Like, this is not the market to test the pricing and see if you can get the number that you're really hoping for. You need to price the home on the conservative side of what the comps show, because the comps even 2 or 3 months ago may not support what's actually happening in the market right now. Really look at the active competition if you're thinking about listing your house. Like in your submarkets, look and see what the other homes are that are for sale right now, because we know buyers shop by comparison. And if they go look at your house and 4 others, is yours going to help sell your home or help sell those other houses? That's really important to think about. You cannot outmarket the wrong price in this market right now. You also got to be a little bit patient. Expect your home to sit there for a few weeks potentially, maybe even like in submarkets, it's creep up to that 30, 40 days range. Like I said, you just have to have some patience, okay? If your expectation of your home is going to sell in just a day or two, you got to reset that expectation, realize it could take longer than that just because of how dynamically fast this market is changing and shifting. If you've got questions about buying or selling real estate, of course, reach out to me. All my contact information is down below. Novak team would love to help you buy or sell a house.